Hey, welcome to Two Pastors in a Car at Chick-fil-A. You'll notice we're actually in a car, and though you can't quite see it, we're actually at Chick-fil-A. Our topic for today is 5 ways to keep your family encouraged. And we're here to tell you that Pastor Andy and my family all completely encouraged, no discouragement going on whatsoever. So we want to give you the secret that we've discovered to keep our families perfectly encouraged. I'm joking. So our topic, 5 ways to keep your family encouraged. We need this as much as you need it. Andy, what's number 1?
Well, number 1 is to study the Bible together. It's important, certainly for our own souls to be nourished by the Word of God, but we need to be mindful that every person in our families, our wives, our children, they need the Word of God. And so we need to be sure to be making sure that we're in the Word of God together, encouraging each other. Perhaps, what did you learn from the sermon on Sunday morning, or what have you been learning in your personal devotions? Whatever will work best for you and your family to be in the Word of God and be talking about that together.
So the second thing we want to suggest is to admit when you fail. So there are times that I don't stay encouraged, that I get upset, I get grumpy. That's how we say it in my family. Daddy got grumpy. And as a parent, as you're leading your family and trying to keep them encouraged, sometimes we do a knee-jerk reaction where we pretend like we didn't get grumpy, like we didn't do something wrong. And I think that actually works against the grain there a little bit. By admitting, you know what, kids, you know what, Mom, Daddy got grumpy, and I'm sorry, please forgive me. I think that gives your kids permission to recognize when they've gotten grumpy, when they need to change their attitude. So be willing to admit when you fail.
Yeah, another thing to keep in mind is that we need to pray openly for each other's weaknesses. It's no secret, we're all sinners. We're all in the same boat. And so whether we struggle with anger or we struggle with impatience, whatever the case is, let's just be honest with each other in our own families that we are sinners, that we struggle, and bring that to the surface. And not just bring it to the surface, but pray about those things with each other. That will help the dynamic in the family to be more peaceful and more open at the same time.
So number 4 is to create some little things to look forward to. I don't know if you've experienced this. In our family, we had a schedule that was just full all the time. And frankly, it was so full that we almost didn't know what was coming up. We sort of took it a day at a time. Well, now the days and evenings especially aren't so full, and it can get a little monotonous. So try to create some things to look forward to. Hey, this Friday, we're going to order out to eat and talk about it and take some joy in some of the smaller things that maybe in the past you might have overlooked, but will make a big difference in encouraging your kids and giving them something to look forward to. Yeah, this Friday, we're going to X, Y, or Z. We found that can be a helpful way in keeping the moods up and keeping people encouraged. Now, this last one, just like last week, we believe is a game changer. And so, again, it's a little bit counterintuitive, and it's actually kind of similar to last week's game changer. But if you will, again, step forward in faith and try to put this into practice, we really believe it could help really turn things around and encourage your family. So number 5, Andy.
Yeah, so you know what it is to be discouraged during this time. You know what it is for your family to be dealing with discouragement on a regular basis. And so the reality is there are other families that are discouraged as well. So instead of just focusing on the discouragement that you contend with as a family, turn that focus to another family who might be discouraged. There are people in your church, people in your neighborhood, perhaps, that are dealing with discouragement. Maybe you can be that encouraging presence in their lives. And so just be thinking outward and come to them in the name of Christ with words of encouragement, with acts of kindness. It could be as simple as making a phone call, or you could get a little creative and maybe put a care package together and drive to a person's house or walk to someone's house, maybe even just across the street, and leave a care package on the door just saying, we're praying for you and we want to encourage you during this difficult time.
Well, that's the end of our episode. This has been Two Pastors in a Car at Chick-fil-A. We look forward to seeing you next week. God bless.